I started investing 5 years ago with just $20, and since then, I've been able to grow it to multiple tens of thousands of dollars. In this video, we're going to go over the entire journey, the entire timeline, how my net worth has grown and changed over the years. It's been quite a journey for me. Back then, I had almost no investing knowledge, and now I have a job in finance. If you're new here, my name is Poodle. I am 27. I live in Philadelphia. My salary is 57,000, and I do a couple things here on the internet. I have this finance channel and I also stream on Twitch. So thank you for being here watching this video, and let's just get right into it. This is what I use on Notion to track all of my finances, my net worth, my income, my spending. Pretty much all of it is on here. You can also get a copy of this tracker for yourself using the link in the description. So let's just scroll down right here to the net worth section. So as you can see, it's been quite a journey. Now, I only started really tracking everything in May 2022, but I actually started investing in like the fall of 2020. So it's been 5 years already, which is pretty crazy to say, and things have changed a lot since then. I graduated from college in 2020, and that's when I really started getting interested in investing and finance, and so I opened up a brokerage account, and I think I put in a total of like 5-ish grand in there, and that just kind of sat there for quite a while. I went into grad school right after college, so I wasn't really making too much money there, and luckily, I don't have any student loans. That would make this chart look very different, I'm sure. A mix of like really good scholarships that paid for most of my tuition, and then my parents helping me with the rest. I didn't have to pay anything for my bachelor's degree. And my master's degree, I actually studied at the University of Iceland, where tuition costs are about $500 a year. I'm really lucky and thankful that I was able to go to school for so long and didn't have to pay too much for it myself. I was able to leave just about 5 grand in investments throughout that whole time. And then you start to see a jump in about October 2022 there. It goes from 5K to 9.1K within like a month. This was caused by a couple things. I moved home from grad school, moved back in with my parents, and so I started working again, mostly DoorDash, and I was also tutoring English online at the time, so I was putting a lot of that money into investments. Right when I finished grad school, I got an Erasmus grant from the EU, and so I was able to fully cash that out at that point. I had just left that in my Icelandic bank account the whole time I was studying and was using that for some expenses here and there, but I actually had some left over, so I was able to just kind of transfer that over to my American bank account and invested it. I forget the exact amount I had left over, but I think it was like 1 or 2 grand-ish. But that's where you see that jump there, and throughout 2023, it kind of like slowly rises a bit. I was still investing here and there, but I decided to do an online certificate to hopefully like get an actual job because I studied history in grad school. So I did an online certificate. And then the next year in 2024, I bought a car, so I aggressively wanted to pay that off because the interest rate was about 17%, which was awful. But so that's why, like, it's slowly going up, and I was investing a bit, but not as much as I could have, but those were also really good years for the stock market. And then the next big jump between December 2024 and January 2025, my net worth jumped from 32,000 to 45,000. Now, this was for a couple of reasons. The first reason was that I got a new job. So in 2024, I got hired as a temp at a finance company, and in December and January pretty much, they made me a full-time permanent employee, so my pay went up quite a bit. So I was able to be investing more, which was good, consistently. And also, unfortunately, I had a family member pass away, and she left me about $15,000. So that's when I got that and was able to invest all of it. I think the exact breakdown of that money, I put 5,000 in my Roth IRA. I put another 5,000 in my individual account, and I just kept 5,000 in savings because I knew that a goal of mine during this year 2025 was to move out, and so I wanted to have a good amount of savings for that. So that essentially like jump started my emergency fund. And since then, my net worth has just gone pretty crazy. Once I hit 50K, like I really felt the power of compounding and everything. It's just going at a crazy rate that I never expected. Now, I'll go a little bit more in depth later when I talk about exactly how much I invested for the month of October, but I invest like roughly about 2 grand a month between my like after tax stuff and then my 401k and my employer match. It's roughly about 2 grand a month, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. So I am investing quite a lot, but like this still is pretty crazy, and I almost can't believe that, like, oh man, I'm getting ahead of myself. I gotta go into like the net worth breakdown and stuff, and then I'll say the number, even though I know you can see it, but like I gotta wait for the reveal. I gotta say it later. So let's start breaking down my net worth. You'll see most of this chart is in blue because I didn't really track um the breakdown of my net worth until like 3 months ago, but I'm doing that now, which is pretty fun, and it's really cool being able to see like my exact accounts, how much they grow each month and change. So I'm really excited to keep doing that. So for this past month, at the end of October 2025, I had $8,165.89 in cash. I had $41,111.62 in my individual brokerage account at Fidelity. Also at Fidelity, I have a Roth IRA, which was at $24,881.30. My 401k was at $4,418.89. And finally, my HSA was $125.08, bringing my total net worth to $78,702.25. My net worth in September was $74,903.55, which means that between September and October, my net worth changed by $3,804.70. Now, my entire net worth goal for the year was $75,000, and so to almost hit that in September was really, really crazy for me and very exciting. Now, I know most of that is just because the stock market has been doing well, but like I've still done a really good job of being able to invest so much consistently every month, and I am pretty proud of myself for that. I'm trying not to get too excited and set like really lofty goals because I know that so much of it is just dependent on the stock market, but I am really excited to see how this keeps going and where we'll be at the end of the year. So now let's talk about October specifically and how much I invested. So here's a little chart breaking down where all of my investments went in October. I invested $1,395 into my individual account, and then for my 401k, I put in $270.83, and my employer matched $135.41. All of that brings me to a total of $1,801.24 for October. Now, I don't have any Roth IRA contributions in here because I actually maxed that out about like a month or two ago, so everything's just going into my individual account right now. So I'm pretty proud of this number. I usually try to invest about $1,200 every month, like after tax, and I was at almost $1,400. I've got a goal this year of investing all of my side hustle income, and I've really stuck to that this year, which I'm really proud of. And then it's really cool for me to see like the breakdown of how much I put into my 401k and how much my employer matches, and it's just exciting to see it go up so quickly. So I am unfortunately not really expecting to invest quite as much next month. I mean, we'll see how the month goes and what happens, but I had some pretty big expenses at the end of October and early November, which I talk all about in my like October, November financial reset where I go over my income and spending and all that. But so yeah, so I kind of need some time to recover from all of that spending, and I think unfortunately that means I'm not going to be able to invest as much as I want this month, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. So that means my goals for this month for November are to invest as much as I can and to save and recover from my expenses last month. And we'll see how those numbers look at the end of the month. But what is really exciting is that I'm kind of at the point right now with my portfolio that it's starting to really compound even without me actively putting too much money in. And so I'm just really excited to see where that goes. by the end of the month and the end of the year and where we're at. So thank you so much for watching this video, this like net worth investing update. Can't believe I've been investing for like 5 years already. And I'm in this for the long haul, and I love tracking numbers, so I can't wait to see like what happens in the future. But anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this video, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye!